Welcome back to TBB,
aka the Bestie Bonus.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Taylor. And today we are doing a little Mother's Day special.
Happy Mother's Day to our
killer moms.
Do you guys
remember Killer Moms? Damn it. This entire episode is about mother's instinct, mother's intuition. So the question of the week is, name an instance where mother's intuition has been spot on. Example, it could be your own mother's intuition or a time that your mother intuitively knew something and warned you. And the majority of the people in these responses has been like, with friends, with people.
With significant others.
She said that this person wasn't a good person, just vibes were off. Okay, oh my God, when a cord was literally strangling my baby. That's so scary. Oh wait, hold on. It's a two-parter. That was, okay.
I have so many questions. Umbilical cord, phone charger.
Cord. Here we go. I was thinking like the blinds, you know, that happens to cats a lot. I don't know if that happens to babies, but
I was just thinking like phone charger. I don't know what I was thinking.
So when I was in labor, something felt off. So I insisted on a C-section. Thank God I did, because the cord was literally strangling my baby.
Wow.
Oh, this is multi-parter. Okay, family friend kept begging to babysit. Her vibes were just off. My in-laws thought I was just a bitch, but 6 months later, she showed up to church butt naked, having a mental breakdown. Turns out I was right, and she is completely whacked.
Butt naked at church?
That's crazy. Girl, you weren't joking.
I can't imagine the talk at church lunch that day.
I would have loved to have been at the local restaurant, you know, the church going restaurant,
right? The Aubrey's,
just the Aubrey's in Cleveland, to hear the chit chat from that one. 100%. She nicknamed my best friend Crazy. Let's just say senior year, I realized why.
They do be getting those ones spot on.
Every time. Why does my mom know every time I'm in the pantry looking for something? Literally, that is the truest shit ever.
I swear.
That is
it could
crazy.
be 3 a.m. You could tiptoe and not even make a squeak on the stairs, and they're still
behind the cabinet poking around. What are you doing? Are you hungry? What are you getting? I'm like, okay, calm down, okay? Shady family members had to set my boundaries for my kids. Yep. Every time she said a friend is no good, she's always been right. I suspected that a house on the street was making or dealing drugs, and I was totally right. It was meth. Don't let the kids go play down there. My mom's bad vibes with certain people I've talked to or dated, and some friends that I have picked. She's always right. Not a mom, but the day I found out my mom was sick, I woke up at my friend's house and immediately knew something was wrong. Left her house and was on edge the entire drive home. Sure enough, she got the call the same time I woke up 5 years later, and she's now cancer-free. But so weird how I just knew.
Daughter's intuition is real too.
Really it is. Like the connection between a mom and a daughter, we just be knowing shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have to question
like
it.
My brothers, like it could be like a week after like a tragic event, and they'd be like, wait, what happened? I'm like, you didn't feel it?
You didn't feel the shaking in our in our DNA.
Right.
You didn't feel that. Maybe it's because we have literal like eggs in our body
that are theirs.
That's
the
kids
craziest
that are in their body
thing ever.
So like we just know.
So like my grandmother had me
in her stomach with your mom,
and my mom will have had my kids.
Yes, and then we will have our kids' kids.
That's crazy.
That's fucking like
that is
insane.
Like weird. My mom knew when I got my first period before I even got the chance to tell her. How did they know? Probably because you were a miserable bitch.
Yeah, you were being such a bitch for an entire week. Felt my 6-month-old had a fever, nursed it armpit, and no, rectal was 105. Went to the hospital right after. Wow. When my BF's car axle started cracking on his Florida drive to Ohio, she had like 3 nightmares about it.
Oh, wow.
So she's even tuned in to like everything that's connected to you. My BF and I slid on black ice, did a 580 turn, and somehow lightly hit the side railing. We and the car were all okay. I texted my mom after we got back to his place explaining what had happened, and she said, quote, I felt like something was wrong and I checked your location and you were at his house. I just knew something had happened. Damn.
Wow.
My mom always knew when someone was pregnant by her dreams, and now I can do it too.
My grandmother is the same way. She knows when everyone is pregnant and what they're having.
Oh, spot on.
Yeah.
I knew my daughter's gender before we found out and what her personality would be like before she was even born. Mom called me when I was at a party getting attacked by my ex as he threw his drink on me. She literally called right in that moment.
Yeah.
My mom has never been wrong about a single one of my ex-friends or boyfriends at the mall. My mom called me and said to come home. An hour later, there was a shooting there.
Wow.
Oh my God, I have chills everywhere.
Yeah.
My grandmother not offering to take some of her grandsons to the family jeweler for engagement ring, and those engagements are not working out currently. So grandma was like, no, I'm not going to take you to the family jeweler to get your engagement rings. That's not going to work.
You can go to Kay's.
You can go to Kay's because this is not going to be a forever ring.
Yeah, wow.
Damn.
Damn, grandma.
Grandma's lethal. Grandma's not playing around. I've had dreams about all of my friends' babies' names and been right about them all. I shaved down there for the first time at 13 and my mom knocked on the door. She immediately asked if I was shaving my privates and it freaked me the fuck out because how did she know?
My God.
That's so funny.
Shaving your legs and your privates is the scariest thing ever the first time you do it.
Wait, we just got something crazy.
What?
My mom knew who killed Holly Bobo years before they were arrested.
We need you to email us.
Okay. When I lost my virginity, I obviously did not tell her. Her mommy senses tingled and she just knew. My mom felt like I was lying about where I was. She was totally right. I was at my boyfriend's house, caught me. I was grounded for months after. She will call me and tell me to be careful with my plans because she just has a bad feeling most of the time. I've started staying in these days when that happens.
Yeah.
She was talking about how she became CPR certified and a week later I had to do CPR.
Oh, that's weird.
Do you have any instance like this with your mom?
I really don't. I was trying to think on my mom. I just know my grandmother is so intuitive. Like I said, anytime a grandkid, her own kids are pregnant, especially when it was her own kids, she would have dreams. She would know the gender. She was right 100% of the time.
Damn.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, there's a couple things. Like my mom was always like, you need to drop that friend.
Just like normal things like that.
Yeah.
So I was on the phone with my mom earlier because I know that there's multiple times that it has happened. And I just thought of one. It was my freshman year of college and I was supposed to come home that day and I was gonna try to be home for dinner and it was winter so it gets dark earlier. I was going by myself. Logan couldn't come with me. It had to be like a Friday or something into the weekend and my mom wanted me to get home like early. She wanted me to get home before dinner and I was like, well, I have things that I have to fucking do. And so me and her are like fighting with each other because she just wanted me to get down there before it was dark. And we're screaming at each other. So I'm fucking mad the whole way home. It's dark at this point. She's like, you might as well not fucking come until the morning. I'm like, I'm not getting up. There's something we had to do early on that Saturday morning. So it's like, I'm not fucking getting up at fucking 6 in the morning, drive down there. I'm just going to come down tonight. Like I do this drive all the fucking time. I'm going to be okay. So I get in the car. I'm driving down. I'm so mad at her that I have like I'm listening to music, whatever. And at the end of it, like when she knew I was coming home, she was like, okay, just drive safe. Don't rush. I love you. Like, I'll have dinner for you. Just don't freak out and drive crazy. I'm like, okay, I won't. Like, whatever. So I'm so fucking mad at her. So I'm driving. I'm a slow driver in general, but it's specifically in the car that I drove at that time, my EV. Like, that thing, it could go fast, but like it would just burn out the battery in it. Yeah. So like it made no sense to kill it like that.
There's only 2 chargers on campus.
Exactly. I'm driving home and there's this, you guys know this story, there's this big cross in Lenore City, right off the side of I-75 going south on your right side. And I'm about to come up on that and I'm looking at the cross and I'm seeing in the cross something flying towards me. Bitch, it's a fucking tire that had blown off the back of an 18-wheeler and was bouncing, coming directly at me. It rips off my hood, flies over me. Thank God I was totally okay. Like I just kept driving. Yeah. The whole hood flung up and then went back down. But I just kept driving. I pulled off. I called 911. Then I drove home. But my mom knew. That's why she didn't want me driving at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's also like, take it slow.
Take it slow. Like,
so it didn't come through your windshield.
With me and was like, if you're whatever. But what's crazy is the same thing happened with a tire coming off of an 18-wheeler and hitting the hood of my mom's car and ripping the hood off. And then it blocked our view and then it went back down. It happened when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I was really young and it was my mom driving.
What are the odds of that?
I know. It was my mom driving and it was her mom in the passenger seat and I was in the back. It was her old like Lexus. This was like early 2000s. We were listening to a CD and and same thing fucking happened. Like, isn't that
what
so
are the
weird?
odds of that? Yeah, no, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay.
Alrighty, we got some Reddit stories for you.
Today,
Am I first?
Mother's instinct. Morgan goes first, and then I think I did one or two small ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morgan goes first with content.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see what
I've
you
started
did.
rapping.
Okay.
I started writing our notes differently. I've been on one today. Ho.
The Reddit thread is from True Scary Stories from user Iniquitous Pearl. Title is Always Trust a Mother's Intuition. I'll start by saying that nothing could have prepared me for what I was going to discover the morning after a night out. It started as every other night would. Me and my family got ready to head to our local bar for a fundraising event. I had just turned 18 and was looking to have a chill night with friends and family. I knew most of the people there, so I was feeling really relaxed. While at the bar, I went to pay for my drink when the bartender told me it had already been paid for. When I went to see who had paid for it, I saw my cousin's partner. He is around 12 years older than me, give or take, and I gave him a quick wave and did the normal niceties like, hi, how you doing? It's important to note that I had barely spoken more than 2 words to him before, as he was usually quiet or retreated to his room when we would go and visit my cousin.
Weird.
After saying thank you, I thought nothing of it. Nothing seemed off with our little interaction. By the end of the night, I had gathered my family together and told them I wanted to head home. At this point, I was still living at home with my mother, and she had made plans to stay at my grandmother's that night, so I was going to go home and sleep. It was around 11:30 p.m., and I was outside having a smoke, about to head to my car, and just as I was about to head to my car, I heard someone call my name, so I turned to find my cousin's partner walking towards me. He asked if I was heading home for the night, which I thought was weird, so I said, it's late, so I was just going to call it a night. Without skipping a beat, he mentioned the car that I drive and said he would see me around sometime. At this point, I got a bit creeped out, so I said goodnight and I walked off to my car. There were plenty of people outside, so I wasn't concerned at all. Once I got in the car, my phone went off and it was my mother. She was begging and pleading with me to go and stay at my grandmother's house for the night, saying that she had a really bad feeling. Initially, I was really annoyed. I just wanted to go home and go to sleep in my own bed, but she insisted. I couldn't understand why. I was used to being alone at home at night, but she wouldn't let it go. I hung up and I started driving home. I couldn't be bothered going to my grandma's when my house was just down the road. I was tired. I just wanted to go home. Not even halfway home, my phone went off, so I pulled over to check it. It was now my sister asking me to please go stay at my grandma's house. I was pissed off at this point and decided it would be easier going to my grandma's house instead of arguing with my family. When I got to my grandma's house, everyone was asleep. Now I was really pissed off and I went straight to sleep. The night was uneventful, but I woke in the morning to my family talking about how they all had a feeling of dread, which is why they didn't want me to go home alone that night. My mother and I left for home at lunch. It felt off as soon as we pulled into the driveway. Once I got to the door, I found a police card wedged into the door to call them ASAP.
Oh, shit.
I went inside and found my mother's camera on the kitchen table. This was a huge red flag as it was in my bedroom before we left for the fundraiser. I went to my room to find my entire room had been ransacked.
Oh, shit.
No other room in our house had been touched. My blankets had been pulled back and it looked like someone had been in my bed. My knickers drawer was wide open and some were also sprawled on the floor.
No.
Another camera of my mother's was also on the table where my TV was, which was directly opposite my bed. Clothes were everywhere, and by this point, I was losing my shit. If I had gone home, like the plan all along, I would have made my way through the house and then crawled into bed without switching my lamp on. I had done this so many times previously, and I wouldn't have seen the state of my room at all.
Right.
My mother gave them a call to find out what happened, and what she told me made the blood drain from my face. Police were alerted to a break-in at our next-door neighbor's house when our neighbors found a man wandering inside their home. The man claimed that he was my friend and went into the wrong house, and so they chased him out. Our house had a big 8x12 meter deck, which looked over my neighbor's house. They called police again when they spotted the same man having a smoke on our deck. Police arrived at our house at 2 a.m., but since I wasn't home, no one answered the door. They noticed the lights on, so they went inside to investigate. They made their way through the house and found a man hiding in my bedroom in the dark. He couldn't give a reason why he was there or why he was hiding in my room. They had arrested him and taken him to the station and wanted to know if we knew him. Turns out it was my cousin's partner, and he had been hiding in my bedroom for over an hour waiting for me to get home because he, quote, knew I would be going home that night.
Oh, my God.
My mother's gut feeling saved me from going home alone that night, and my neighbor's vigilance helped to catch a creep. I always listen now without questioning whatever. She has a bad feeling. Who knows what would have happened? All I know is it wouldn't have been pretty. He was charged with breaking and entering and spent some time in jail before being released and moving countries. Always trust your mother's gut feeling, people. It sure saved me from having to deal with that.
Oh,
what a fucking creep.
God.
What a creep.
That's horrible. That is disgusting. I've chills.
The cameras though are throwing me off. Like,
yeah,
was
he like taking pictures,
or
like,
was he setting up the cameras for her if she showed up for him to trap her and then record whatever he was gonna do?
Definitely.
That's sick.
Did he? Like, was it on? Like, was there anything?
Yeah,
on it?
Like, did he record himself?
I wish we.
I wish we knew them, but.
Damn.
Thank God for mama and sister.
Crazy. And grandma. Everyone was freaking out. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, so the next one we have is from so it was a post in at the thread Ask Women, and the post said, what is one time your mother's intuition saved your child's life? What's the story? And everyone, there was like tons of comments with like stories on it. So I picked a few. The first one is from user Mama Donger, and it says, my mom saved my life from drowning at the YMCA. I was taking a big group class with other children around my age 3 to 5, ran by some lifeguards who were probably just out of high school. They told her to sit in the quote parent viewing area, which was a bunch of benches on the second floor. Something didn't sit right with my mom though, so she was the only parent to sit right next to the pool on the first floor. Lesson goes fine until the last 10 minutes. The instructor takes us over to the deep end, I think 12 foot, and has us jump off of a small diving board. They're supposed to then help us to the side. The whole idea was to get us familiar with the deep end / the diving board, jumping in, etc. I'm tiny and I have no fear, so I jump off. The lifeguard catches me, and for some unknown reason to this day, she didn't help me get to the side. She told me to swim to the ladder. Granted, we were the closest group to the ladder, but this is one of my very first swimming lessons like ever. I didn't even know how to doggy paddle, but I tried and I started drowning, like pretty much immediately. Head goes under, I breathe in water, come up, look back at the lifeguard, barely treading the water. I remember she looked annoyed and said, well, go on. I kept swimming, kept breathing in the water on accident. Now it's starting to get around Reddit that people who are drowning don't tend to look like they're drowning. My face was calm. I wasn't wildly splashing or yelling for help, but my mom knew something was really horribly wrong with me. She ran over, reached out as far as she could, grabbed me by my swimsuit, and yanked me out. I guess all of this traumatized me a bit, but I blocked it out until I was older. Afterwards, I had private lessons with a different, more experienced lifeguard. My parents threatened to sue, and I was terrified of the deep end for reasons I couldn't remember until now.
Wow.
Damn.
That's scary.
She's like, I'm not going upstairs. And imagine if she had been upstairs, the time it would have taken her to get down there.
Right. And the lifeguard's
clearly not even fucking paying attention. So the next one is from user Deleted. My mother saved me when I was a baby. As she tells it, she was having a bad dream about a clogged pipe and could hear me crying. In reality, I had gotten down from my bed in the dark early morning and started playing with the electric blanket dial. This was 1987, so it was just a piece of round plastic held on by a screw with a metal washer. Well, little me thought it would be super fun to put the washer into my mouth, and it got stuck, blocking my airway. I was not crying, just wobbling around on the carpeted floor, making no noise. My dad said that it couldn't have been more than 10 seconds from when I swallowed the washer to when mom woke up and grabbed me. Not sure if that counts as intuition, but I'm glad. That is 100% intuition.
Yeah.
I'm glad she had that nightmare.
So wait, electric blanket, like... Wasn't this hot too then? Like,
right. No, because I guess it was on the dial that's like on the cord. So maybe it wasn't hot. Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
The last one, this is crazy. Okay. This is from a deleted user, and it says, this was not my child. So this is mother's intuition about another child. I was in the city some years ago. I had my youngest in a backpack and I was spending part of the day running errands. I was in a music store picking up some gifts for my significant other. The store was crowded and there were a couple of girls around 12 years old looking around. A guy was standing near them talking to them. They seemed at ease and I thought maybe a father. No big deal. One of the girls left the store and the other one was still looking around. When I was ready to check out, she was ahead of me in the line, and as she was reaching for her purse to pay, the man came up close beside her and told her to put her money away, that he was going to be getting the stuff for her. She thanked him happily and acted a bit surprised. He was dressed dad casual. He looked like any okay guy in his early 40s. He was right behind her as they left, and I followed soon after. I expected her to get into the car with him, and I was still thinking that this was a dad-daughter situation. She seemed to be at ease with him, and the way that he talked when paying for her things seemed okay, but she did not. She went one way, walking, and turned the corner onto a side street towards a residential area. He got into his car and drove off. I thought. And then he turned the corner at the other end of the block, and that is when my antenna went up. I walked the same way that she did and pulled out my phone, dialing 911. I saw her a good half block or more ahead of me, and there he was, pulling out of the alley to cut her off. I could tell instantly that she was now scared, and she started to try and get past him. I had my toddler in a pack, so I was weighed down, but I had the 911 person on the line and told her what was happening as I was running towards him, shouting at him to go away, that I had called the cops and other stuff that was pretty much just hysterical. And he took off fast. I waited with her until the police came. She was still pretty shook up. I made a statement and later was contacted. They got the guy not too far away and arrested him. Not surprisingly, he had a record of sex crimes. I was going to have to go to court, but he pled guilty and was put away for a few years. I did have a talk with the girl's mom, and she thanked me profusely. I was sort of sick in my heart over it all. I came so close to ignoring what was happening.
I can't tell you how many times I'm so vigilant in public spaces, but there's so many occurrences where it really does look like a family.
It does.
And I'm like, that just doesn't fucking feel right.
Something's not right about it. Yeah. And you don't want to be like a bitch and be like,
right, or call the cops every fucking day.
Right. You can't do that.
Because there are some oddball parents out there that like really throw me a red flag curve.
It's just
like probably don't have a good home life if I had to guess. It
could be your kid, but your kid's not safe at home.
Right.
You know, but you don't want to call the cops if it's like something that.
Thank God she followed.
God. Anyways, guys, happy Mother's Day. Thanks. Love to all of our killer mamas out there.
Mother figures, grandmas, mamas,
soon to be mamas, wanna be mamas, all the things. We love you guys so much.
And happy Mother's Day to Beth Ann and Tanya.
Yeah, of course. Happy Mother's Day.
Our queens.
To the best. Our queens. God, we love them. They're the best.